So welcome to another episode of Jenn's Time with me, Jennifer Anastasia Levine. I am doing a show and I finally got my interview back from transcanadaproject.ca, and I'm going to share it with you today on Jenn's Time so everybody can see it and everybody can hear it. And it's me, and it's honesty, it's truth, and it's what I've had to deal with going through my entire life, and nobody knows what I go through. Not even my ex-girlfriend knew what I went through, and she needs to know. And I want her to see this. I want her to know that I hurt inside, that I just want to be me, and this is going to make it better. So I'm going to start it right now, and I hope you guys all enjoy my interview.
In 2005, I think it was, without looking on them. I just got them changed over last year to my new name, and so far it's been pretty good. When I was 10, I told the doctor I wanted to wear girls' clothes, and they put me in a youth facility in Kitchener-Waterloo called Lutherwood, and there some bad stuff happened, but however, that's behind me. The worst part of it was over by the time I was 14 with Lutherwood. Mom found out what was going on at Lutherwood and pulled me out of there as fast as she put me in. I moved forward. At 15, I met some people at a center in Guelph called Change Now, and one of the girls knew somebody in Toronto at the 519, and they introduced me to her, and she got me a meeting at the Clark Institution. I believe that's what it was back then in the 90s. And the Clark Institution gave me a pamphlet on all the stuff I had to do to transition in the beginning. So I took that, read over it. Well, I was only 15 at the time, so ultimately this was no good for me because I had to wait till I was 18. Before I came out, it was single parent family, 3 girls, 1 boy. And I don't know where that boy is now. He's somewhere, but I don't know where he is. And he was off doing everything by himself. And I'm self-taught, so everything I've learned, I've taught myself, including my makeup. It wasn't all at once. There are people that knew in the beginning, and people that didn't know. A little bit of experimenting here and there and everywhere. That's just the way it came in. It kind of flowed that way. Partying in Toronto made my life so much better. It helped me come to terms with some of the stuff that I was dealing with. It made me feel more comfortable being in that situation, because I had the support from people acknowledging that it was cool and I wasn't doing something stupid. I was considered cool to wear makeup. Like, for me to get up on stage as a DJ and put a dress on, man, I'm rocking it. I'm cool. I'm the DJ that they want to hear because I'm playing the tracks that they want to hear. So it doesn't matter how I look on stage, I still get on stage and I get cheered for no matter how I look. So that whole community was a big support to me. And I've been DJing since I was 12. I got into it to get away from breaking the law and doing stupid stuff. And it was an outlet for me, and it still is an outlet for me. I worked for 4 of the biggest clubs in Toronto, downtown Toronto, that I was made. I didn't have any problems with anybody. People knew me from the club. They knew I was DJ Smiles. Now I'm DJ Linus and DJ DSG. I had a good job. I had a good life. When I was 38, I went to Dr. Tom and I came out to him. The day I went to Dr. Tom's office, I was sitting outside having a cigarette. I was just shaking. And I said, "Okay, you remember that thing I said I had to talk to you about, Dr. Tom?" He's like, "It's time?" I said, "Yeah, it's time." I said, "You see my skinny jeans, right?" He's like, "Yeah." Doesn't think nothing about it because guys wear skinny jeans. Well, I said, my jeans are women's. The only thing I'm wearing right now is my coat, my hat, and my t-shirt. Those are the only things that are men's. My shoes, my underwear, everything is women's. I said, normally I wear a bra except for when I go out and stuff. And he was like, "Yeah," like I said, he said, "That explains a lot." And when I talked to Dr. Tom, when I came out to him, I'm like, please don't look at me like I'm crazy, because I know I'm not. And I know this is a thing, and I know. He's like, "That's good. Okay, well," and then he started talking to me about Dr. Mars, I believe it's Marsala, and she works at the Quest Clinic in St. Catharines, and he wanted to get us connected with Quest. Well, after 3 months of Quest not calling us back, I took it upon myself to go on the internet, and I went to the Sherborne Clinic in Toronto. I got the pamphlet on how to prescribe hormones and blockers to transgender patients. I read over it before taking it to Dr. Tom, and I gave it to Dr. Tom. Dr. Tom goes, okay, let me read over it. And in a few days, I had my prescription for hormones. And in 2000, I moved to Niagara, which made it better on me. I didn't have to hide myself where I had to hide myself in Guelph because it was homophobic, as we would say. And it wasn't, and getting out of Guelph and being in Niagara has been a pretty good thing for me. And I don't think I wouldn't be where I'm at without Dr. Tom. He deserves a high five. So I think he jumped into this with no knowledge. I wasn't waiting. I had name change papers signed, put in the mail, on its way. 6 to 8 weeks, my name was coming back to me. Dr. Tom signed off on it. I went from Jeffrey Thomas Michael Burt to Jennifer Anastasia Levine. I took on my father's last name because my last name Burt was not my last name. It was my older sister's last name, who my mom was married to her father and not mine. So I took my father's last name, and I said to myself, anytime I got the chance to change my name, I would take my dad's last name, and I did that. Yeah, my coming out story, my mom is a superhero. She called me from the hospital. She's like, yeah, they just asked me who my next of kin was, and they said Jeffrey Bird, and she's like, no, my daughter Jennifer Levine. She just calls me up. She's like, yeah, I just told my daughter, and yeah, best part ever. My mom knew because I had all the clothes, and she was always telling me to throw them out. Except with mom's like my bestie. She's been there my entire life. She still lives with me, and we get along real well. Best roommate in the world. So mom, superhero mom, high five. My mom's my supporter. She's my bestie. Can't talk to her about some stuff. When I mention surgery, she kind of tilts away from it. But now that I'm getting to my surgery letters, she's now got to face it that I'm going to be laying in bed, and she's going to have to help me, and she can't do a lot because she's got a bad back and stuff. So I'm trying to find ways around surgery to not be in bed as much as I'm supposed to and be able to get out of bed. So yeah, I used to go out till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. As soon as I heard those birds chirping, I knew I had to get home because mom knew I wasn't home. She'd kill me. And I'm afraid of my mom. She scares me. And to this day, my mom scares me. Well, the girls was great because boys weren't allowed in the bedroom, but the parents knew that I was raised with all sisters, so they knew I wouldn't do anything because my mom would kill me. I would go over to their house, have sleepover, movie night, whatever on the weekend. Mom would get rid of me for a night, right? So she was happy for that. And it was just like, let's put makeup on him. So, okay, whatever, right? After a while, it just became a thing with me. And I could walk down the hall and go in their bedroom, but their boyfriend was at the house, and he couldn't even go down the hallway. He was pissed. And I had a girlfriend that I bought my kilt for St. James, my knee highs and my blouse, but I had it at a girlfriend's house, and I would go to their house and change in the morning and wear my kilt to school. Over the couple of years being in Niagara, I didn't have anybody to talk to. Mom was in Winnipeg. The past few months, I met Steven. Thank you, Steven, high five. For shits and giggles, I put an ad on a photography site for Toronto, explaining I'm a transgender model looking for a photographer to help me build my portfolio. Because I modeled from the time I was 12 till the time I was 14, or 10 till 14. And mom always had me busy with my sisters, figure skating, modeling. Yeah, I did everything the girls did pretty much except for hockey. And Steven, I met Steven, we did the first photo shoot, paid me $60 for 3 hours of my time, which was, to me, I really didn't care about the money, I just cared about photos. And I met Steven, and Steven took the first photo shoot, and we did the first photo shoot, I think 3 months ago. Ultimately, Steven went home and he was looking over the new photos, and he sent me a link, and this link with my photo to a website. And when I started going over the website and seeing what it was all about, and I was reading about it, and I was seeing that they're transitioning later on in life, I started reading over it more to see what kind of information that they gave. And they give pretty much accurate information how to start and do your transition and how to go about things. There are some things that were there that I had access to, like P-Flag, high five to P-Flag. I've talked to some other female models in Toronto that I'm supposed to meet in the summertime for my birthday, hopefully, if COVID's gone. And because of Stephen, my life is moving in a different direction. And it all stemmed from me putting that out on Facebook in a modeling group. So ultimately, Stephen has given me a new reason to get out of bed. High five, Stephen. Ultimately, it's because of Stephen I've been given that reason to get out of bed now, and I've been given more energy, and I've been getting the adrenaline that I had when I was in clubs and feeling God the way I felt like I was back on stage. My biggest dreams for the future is marriage, a happy life, to get my son back, who was taken from me when I came out. Yeah, my son is a big part of my life. Seeing him again would be probably the best. That's the biggest thing I've been fighting over with my anxiety and my depression is my son, because just the smallest things set me off. I would tell my son that, you know what, Dad is still here. I'm still Jeffrey Thomas Michael Burt to you. And the day I told my son I changed my name, I explained to him that I wasn't happy. And when I told him, he was like, Dad, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. And this flows back into where I said, if you want to talk about mom, because my mom will say, she asked my son the same thing. And he says, as long as Dad's happy. I had an issue at Tim Hortons one time, out of respect for the two older ladies that were there. I went into the men's bathroom instead of the women's because I knew the old ladies would go and complain. So I went into the men's bathroom and 3 kids came in, threw stuff over and caused a problem and said I was making noises. Yeah, I was making noises. I was taking a poop. Ultimately, I've had issues with the bathroom, but I'm not going to let that hamper me. Please let me use the bathroom. All I want to do is go pee. Man, I even got stopped in Guelph by a cop that busted me when I was a teenager. And he thought I was smoking a joint in my car. I was sitting downtown Guelph having a cigarette. I just drove to Guelph in the middle of the night for coffee. That was it. And I sat downtown Guelph having a cigarette in my car before I drove back to St. Catharines. And cop pulls in, thought I was smoking a joint, comes up in the car. He's like, "Ma'am, can you please sit up?" And I said, "I sit up." And he goes, "Mr. Burt?" He says, "No, it's Miss Levine." He thought my ID was fake because I hadn't received my birth certificate back yet. My driver's license was changed to my new name, but it didn't have my gender changed. So he thought my ID was fake. How can people help? People can help by not calling me sir. They can stop calling me he. They can stop referring to me as male pronouns and treat me as an equal. Letting me use the women's bathroom.
That's right.
I am not going in there to do anything else but do my business. So that's what people can do to help. I am set on my goals. I have been battling addiction. I have been dealing with issues from my life, childhood, and stuff that's happened to me over the years, bad things, evil things. And I've been, since finding my boyfriend, Alex, I have come to accept some of the stuff that's gone in my past and throw it out there. I've been working with my psychiatrist to find things like I have ADD. There's been so much that I've come to acknowledge and accept. From the day that Dr. Tom signed my name change forms, I dropped that dress on. I didn't care what people thought or what they looked. I put that dress on and I went out.
This dress.
Hair, no hair, makeup, no makeup. I put my dress on, went out, dropped my forms in the mail, took a picture, posted it. And it's been fine sailing, so I don't see any challenges in my near future. I see battling infections and stuff from surgery as a possibility, but I'm looking at that as hopefully Dr. Tom can give me a PSW worker that can help me get up and out of bed, because Alex can't lift me because he's had back surgery, and my mom can't lift me up. So I'm going to need help getting up out of bed when I come home from the hospital, and that's about the only challenge I see that I face. I started my transition, and best thing I could have ever done for myself. Peace, love, unity, and respect. 4 words I've learned over the years that I live by, which is what everybody deserves, including myself. And I wish people would do that for all of us every day when they see us.
Bye. amazing thing to have happen and have them actually hear my life story pretty much, and being able to vent some of the stuff that's been going on and talk about it made it feel so much better and made me feel more inspirational seeing that, knowing that that's going to be out there for people to see, and they're going to know that just because some people have had a nice run doesn't mean everybody's going to have a nice run. Everybody's story is different. That's why the stories are our stories and not somebody else's. And I really enjoyed dealing with the ladies from transcanadaproject.ca. Both very amazing ladies. Thank you, Kelly. Very pleased that I met you. I forgot the other lady's name, so I'm very sorry about that. I will have to brush up on that, so when I do another video, I'll be able to explain who you were and what we were doing and try and get this right the second time. But being that this is only my second attempt at making episode 2 or 3, I think it is, of Jenn's Time, I think it was pretty good, and very happy and pleased to see that my face, my name is out there. People are going to know who I am. Hopefully somebody will see it, and maybe I'll find a good lawyer that will take that friggin' woman to court and help me get my kid back. Maybe. Here's hoping, right? A girl can dream. A girl can dream. Don't take away the fun from this sweet little girl who likes to dream. And I would definitely enjoy doing another interview like that in a year or two and see where I'm at, which would be very exciting.